Hey, good afternoon, Saints. Or good morning. It's still morning. How you guys doing? Good. Welcome back. Okay, so let's do a little review. So last week we went over onions and their benefits, garlic, ginger, the potato poultice, charcoal poultice, castor oil. It says poultice, but it's actually not a poultice. It's a compress. And the chest rub. Breathe Easy chest rub. Comfrey salve and people's paste. Did anybody try it? Anybody try anything?
Not yet.
Can you tell us what you did, Ms. Tammy?
I did the chest rub using these roots.
You liked it?
Yes, it works well.
Praise God. All right, before we begin, let's have a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for blessing us to be able to come here safely in the rain. We thank you for the rain. We thank you that you've given us all these wonderful benefits that grow in the ground, that we may be able to use them for our benefit, for wellness, and to share them with others. Please bless us, give us wisdom and understanding. We thank you for being an abiding presence with us today. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, well, today we're going to go over essential oils first, but before that, I'm preparing elderberry syrup. And so the ingredients are a half a cup of elderberry, a cup of water, a tablespoon of ginger. You can use ginger powder, but I like fresh ginger, so I put fresh ginger in there. A tablespoon of echinacea, which I ran out of, so I put a tablespoon of astragalus, and 2 cups of honey. So when you cook it, you have to reduce it to half its size. So we doubled it. And when you preserve something with honey, you have to double the amount of water for it to be preserved. But I will over that when we get to it, but right now it's on the stove, and I just wanted to let you know that that is something we're going to come to in the midst of what we're doing. Okay, so today we're going to go over lavender. So lavender is a great essential oil that I use regularly. I use it when I'm in the garden because I'm constantly being bit, and as soon as I put it on the bite, I can say in 2 minutes the sting is gone. It's not there at all. And it also keeps it from swelling up. It really works well. You can also put it on your temples when you're having a headache or stressed, and it gives you a calming feel. It disinfects wounds and burns, promotes healing, and may reduce scarring. The soothing oil is commonly used to help with inflammation, bug bites, like I use, bee stings, sunburn, and it's known for its antihistamine properties. So you can, people put it in a diffuser and love to sniff it. I like to put it in the back of the headboard so that when we sleep, we have a calming scent. Now we'll be using lavender in a couple of the recipes today. eucalyptus oil. Eucalyptus has so many benefits. Eucalyptus is so good for your throat, for your sore throat, and for cold and flu. It has antibacterial properties. It's an underrated oil that most people don't use. It's used for respiratory sinus and cold easing properties. It can also be used as an insect repellent and is said to have viral and inflammatory properties, which it does. So when you get a sore throat, I just make a cup of chamomile tea and then put a drop or two in there, and then I drink it. It soothes my throat and it opens up my sinuses. It can also be put in a boiling pot of water with onion and a potato, and then you can put a head cover over to open up your sinuses when you're congested. So it's very good for congestion as well. And the mother of all oils is oregano oil. I love oregano oil. I brush my teeth with it every day. It's very, very strong. You have to get used to it. But look at the benefits of oregano oil. It's antimicrobial, inflammatory, venom, injury recovery, respiratory, immune. It inhibits growth of lungs, inhibits and destroys bacteria, destroys viruses, parasites, helps with UTIs, ear infections, the common cold, sinus infections, small intestine bacteria, bronchitis, pneumonia, scabies, shingles, and staph infections. Now, usually you're required to put the oregano in with a carrier oil because they call it a volatile oil. I'm not promoting this, but I like it straight. It works better straight. I don't like it infused with anything. And you can use it for many different things. And we brush our teeth with it. And we also, I sometimes put it in 2 ounces of warm water. And I just put a couple of drops in and then I just drink it. So if the cold and flu season is on, you can just drink it. You can make any brew or any tea and add it to your tea, and it will assist you in preventing you from getting sick. In addition to that, it will help you if you're already sick. So Phyllis likes to take hers straight in a long syringe and put it down her throat. Now I'll do a drop like that, but I can't handle that syringe yet. Okay, and thyme oil. Thyme oil is an oil that people don't know that is very, very good for you. It's very medicinal. It's very good with cold and flu as well. It has an antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and antibacterial properties. It's commonly used as a preservative in foods, cosmetics, and toiletries. It can also be found in an ingredient in mouthwash, which gives you that hot, burning feeling. Thyme helps fight respiratory infections and is a natural expectorant that serves as an antiseptic and helps expulse mucus. It's also good for soothing coughs and fighting nasal congestion. So this is really, really good for mucus.
I have a question.
Sure, I'm sorry.
What is volatile? What do you mean when you say volatile oils?
Well, it's very hot. It will burn you. You have to be careful with how you use the oil, especially internally. It's really for internal. I mean, you don't want to put it on your skin on the outside either, but internally, it's very, very hot. So if you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't use it. I have to take it in water for me when I take it internally. Some people can take it straight. I take it straight sometimes, but I prefer to put it in a little water. But it's very, very good. And so I don't like to water it down because I want the full benefit of it. But if you're just beginning, you may want to infuse it in a carrier oil to get started with. Okay, so thyme is underrated. And when you're doing your medicinal recipes that we learn, like your teas and stuff, you can add a few drops of this in there. Also, you can use thyme leaves. So people don't use the thyme leaves or the oregano leaves as well. They have very great medicinal benefits. All of these herbs are good for cold and flu. All of these, these oils are good for cold and flu. So this is why we're presenting them so that you would know what you need to purchase. You need to purchase thyme oil. I like red thyme oil instead of the regular thyme. Okay, so now we're gonna get back to our elderberry syrup, ladies. They can see with the light off. Can they see with the light on? Okay, so today we're making elderberry syrup. Wish we had a bigger one of these, kind of small. So, I don't know if you can see, but I steeped the elderberries in just some water. I added some ginger and a tablespoon of astragalus.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what the tablespoon was.
Astragalus. It's an herb.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go over astragalus in a short while.
You said you use astragalus in place of echinacea?
That is correct. You can use whichever herb you want to use in there to boost your immune response. So after we want to squeeze all the juice out, get as much of it as we can get. See,
Where do you get the elderberries?
I ordered these from Herbally Grounded. I ordered them online. It's a place in Las Vegas that Sister Starks told me about, and you can get them in good quantities, and they have organic products. All right. Okay, so once we strain it, you want to look at the amount of liquid that you have, and then you want to double that. So I have 2 cups. So I want to put 2 cups of honey. Now, I don't really use 2 cups of honey myself at home. You can just use 1 cup. You're using 2 cups to preserve it for long storage. But if you're going to just use it regularly within a week or 2, you can just put 1 cup and it doesn't have to be as sweet. But honey is a preservative, and it has good qualities, antibacterial properties as well, and it's very good for you. We'll go over honey soon. So while it's warm, it will help to diffuse the thickness of the honey, and then it will turn into a syrup. And did you get the cups? You guys, anybody like to try it?
I have a question.
Sure.
What was, you said echinacea or astragalus?
Astragalus. Look at this. I'm going to go over astragalus in the PowerPoint. So we'll just wait. I'm going to go over it. No, it's just in a bag. I get all the honey out. All right. So this is how you make your own cough syrup for the winter. It's very good for you, and adding the extra boost of the astragalus makes it more medicinal. Okay, so we're going to go over a few herbs while you guys taste that. That's the response you're gonna get.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay, so let's go over echinacea. Echinacea promotes immune system response and reduces any of the symptoms of cold and flu. I know everybody in here is familiar with echinacea, is that correct? Everybody's used echinacea. So it supports white blood cell. It also is an immune booster, fights infections, reduces inflammation, and its anti-inflammatory properties are cancer protectors, rich in antioxidants, and lowers blood sugars. Now, as I was putting this together, I didn't know that it lowered your blood sugar. That's one thing that I learned from this today. So, echinacea is one of the herbs that you need to get to put into your herbal first aid kit for the winter. Astragalus. Astragalus is used to protect and support the immune system, preventing colds and upper respiratory infections, lowering blood pressure, treating diabetes, and protecting the liver. Astragalus has antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties, and people sometimes use it on their skin for wound care. So it's great. You can make a salve with astragalus, and you can make a lotion with the astragalus. Does he need some water? Okay, so I showed you the astragalus there, and you can use it just like you use echinacea or golden seal. It has the same properties. This one has a little more additional properties with wound care and also with skin irritation. You can use it on skin irritation as well. Cayenne pepper. I had some right here. Cayenne pepper is an old remedy. It's great for the circulatory system. It's a blood stimulant and regulates blood flow from the head to the feet. So like coffee it's not a blood stimulant. It's that's a shame. I know what kind of stimulant it is, but it affects your brain. It stimulates the brain. This stimulates the blood, and we want the blood to move and push so that it doesn't stagnate in any part of the body, which causes sickness and disease. Cayenne has anti-inflammatory properties and can help reduce pain, including neuropathic pain, low back pain, headaches, and muscle pain. Cayenne pepper can stop bleeding internally and externally. It increases circulation and metabolism, and it's used for strokes, heart attacks, blood pressure, wounds, pain, and many other ailments. So I was at a camp meeting, and I was working in the kitchen, and I got a bad cut. And this is how I first learned that cayenne pepper was a wound aid. And I didn't want them to put it in me because I just knew it was going to burn. And it did burn, but it didn't burn for very long. And it did stop the bleeding. I didn't bleed anymore. And even after I rinsed it off, it still didn't bleed. It really did work. Also, it's good for strokes. So you put it under the tongue in the powder form, but what you need for your medicinal kit is you need cayenne tincture. Cayenne tincture is what you need because it will work quicker than the powder. And it's easy to administer, easier than the powder. So strokes or heart attacks are very, very good. Cayenne is very, very good for. Also for pain salve, rubbing your body with the pain salve. Pain salve is always included in the pain salve to warm you up and give you that pain relief. Aloe vera. So aloe vera gel benefits. So when you do your first aid kit, you need to get aloe vera gel. Of course, we use the plant outside, but if you can get gel in a container or take some gel out of an aloe vera and mix it so you can use it in your kit quickly. So it's good for burns, sunburns, blisters, rashes, cuts and scrapes, abrasions, frostbite, skin damage, and athlete's feet. It has many, many more benefits than this, but we're focusing on what we would use it for in an event of a first aid need. Okay, so we're gonna go to the nature's flu shot. Sister Phil is gonna bless us with that. You don't want Okay, so Phil's gonna do nature's flu shot. Okay, so this is the flu shot you need to take at home regularly so that you can prevent cold and flu. So it starts off with the juice of 6 lemons. Personally, I like to keep the skin on mine, so that's how we're going to do it today, so that we can get a greater benefit from the flu shot. That's good. We'll add some more of it. Okay, then a bulb of garlic, 2 tablespoons of, it says teaspoons of ginger powder. I like fresh ginger, but for the recipe, we're gonna put the powder. 1 tablespoon of honey. And 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper and 3 cups of pineapple juice. The good thing about this drink is it tastes good.
We're just gonna put a little fire in your life, just a little bit.
So let's. Okay, so it's gonna be a little thick because this is not a Vitamix, but you guys can handle it.
Are these organic?
Yeah, we can say, no, these are, no, not for this, but you should use organic lemon. Let me see. payments are from Costco.
Yeah, I think so.
Does everybody wanna try it?
Yes.
Sure.
I have a question. Can you heat it up? I mean, I like something warm when I'm cold.
You can heat it up if you want to, but I wouldn't heat it up a lot and destroy it.
That's what I was wondering.
Warm it maybe.
Marcia, how do you make a tincture?
Yeah, well, I can show you how to make a tincture. You make them depending on what you're using, but basically you use, the way that we make them, you use glycerin and water. So, you have to infuse the product inside the glycerin and water, and so you need 1/3 water to 2 parts glycerin, because the glycerin is a preservative. So then you can let it sit for 4 to 6 weeks, or you can put it in a warmer and let it warm for 2 days, and then you'll get the benefits of it.
So, like cayenne pepper in with 1/3 water?
No, you can't do cayenne pepper, it would stick to the glycerin.
Well, you said we need to make a tincture.
I said you need to buy a tincture.
Oh.
I can try to make it. All right, did everybody get one?
Yeah.
Oh, not yet? Okay. So how do you guys like it? Stop, well, just bringing it out. That'll infuse, honey will infuse that sort of thing. Take care of it. Is it too hot? Did you get some? Okay, just some.
How long will this keep?
I don't know, at our house it does keep for 2 days, but, I don't know, I guess it'll keep for about 4 days, 4 or 5 days. We just put it in the blender, make it fresh. We got everything in there. We didn't have a squeezer to juice the lemon, so we just dumped it.
Thank you.
But that's how I do mine at home. I like it this way. A Vitamix would have got to go good, we didn't have, so bear with us.
We have to rough it sometimes.
Yes.
That's right. Guerrilla filmmaking. Guerrilla school. GUB, GOR.
Okay, so we're gonna get started with our next remedy, which is pine needle tea. How many people have heard of pine needle tea? Okay, so with the pine needle tea, you just get the fresh pine and you cover it with water. And when you cover it with the water, you just heat it up for a short time and let it simmer for 3 to 5 minutes, and then you cut the fire off and put a top on it and let it steep. And when the needles fall to the bottom, it's ready. It's very good for cold and flu. Also, you can add things to it. It's good with oregano, with thyme. You can put all of that in there. You can use the leaves or you can use the oil, it doesn't matter, it's up to you. Or you can make a tincture and put a tincture in here. But this is what everybody in my neighborhood used during COVID times. They used the pine tea. So we're gonna put this on to boil and then we'll get back to it so you can taste it.
Is that just any kind of pine?
No, it has to be white pine. And so, can you hand me the pine? This one. So the pines grow wild here. Everybody probably has one in their yard. So with the pine needles, the way you tell if it's a white pine is one little sprig should have 5 strings, 4, 5. So if they have 5, then you have the white pine. There are pines, I'm gonna go over it, that are very dangerous that you do not wanna use. But this one is a white pine, and this is the one that we can have. over the pine needle tea. So pine needle tea is packed with vitamin C. The leaves have up to 4 times more than an orange. Take care not to boil your tea thorough or you will break down the vitamins. Vitamin A, good for vision, hair, skin, making blood cells. Anti-cancer properties. A study on mice given pine needles extract found the needles to have cancer and tumor prevention potential. Great for colds and flu because it helps decongest and soothe sore throats. Helpful for allergies, much like drinking chamomile tea. Ingesting pollen helps your body learn to treat pollen as a foreign invader, reducing your hay fever response. So those who may be allergic to it, if you sip on it for a while, your body will adjust and it will help you to have a defense against the pollen. May reduce blood pressure, slows oxidative stress, which is great for post-workouts, and might slow aging. There might be an antidepressant quality to the tea, but it's only been studied on rats, so they're not sure. So the negative effects of pine needle tea, it's not recommended while pregnant. It can put a little one at risk, so we recommend holding off if you're brewing for a future tea lover. It's a mild diuretic, so keep up with the water too. And many nutrients are lost if the tea is stored. It's better picked fresh. So white pine needles, like I spoke before, are safe, but some types of pine aren't safe. So that's the ponderosa, the lodgepole, common juniper, Monterey cypress, common yew, and Norfolk pine. So we want to make sure that we avoid those. And this is what we just did, and these are the instructions which you are going to get in the future.
I have a question.
Sure.
What's the recommendation for a little one?
You could just give them half of what you get, but they should not be under 1 year old. They should be older than maybe 2 and above. Because of the pollen, you have to be careful. Okay, so we're gonna get back to our Manuka honey. So how many people use Manuka honey? Okay, Manuka honey fights tooth disease, supports wound care, and by using Manuka honey, it helps treat, I cannot say it. Can you say it, honey?
Blepharitis.
And other common eye infections. Manuka honey fights off viruses and bacteria, cold and flu, helps reduce eczema irritation, helps those with cystic fibrosis, clears a stuffy nose, it calms a sore throat, it's used to treat diabetic wounds, and it can treat stomach ulcers, reduce symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. So Manuka honey is very good for the skin, so it's good internally and externally. And so today we're going to go ahead and make a wound salve with the Manuka honey.
Sister Brett.
Yeah.
What do you get?
Well, Manuka honey is very, very expensive. So for a small jar, it costs like $39 to, I'll say $29 to $39. At Costco, it's $39. But if you go to TJ Maxx like I did, you can get it for $12. So this is 11 ounces, which is you would pay so much for this. The smaller one is $29. I paid $12 for this at TJ Maxx. So this is where you have to shop to get your Manuka honey. So I have the Honey Cure Australian Manuka honey. And I'm gonna divert for a second because that drink creamless Manuka honey because it's good for your throat. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna start this project off like we're doing the other ones. So when you make a Manuka honey salve, you're gonna need honey, you're gonna need beeswax, and then we're gonna add lavender and peppermint oil in the salve. So right now I'm going to just pour my seeds in here in and the girls are gonna heat it up for me. And then shortly we'll make the salve. Manuka honey is the best honey that you can get, and if you can afford it, you should buy that honey than any other. Of course, if not, you wanna get local raw honey and not the honey in the store. And there are many people who feed bees here, and as country living experts, we should all have beehives by now. So hopefully some of us have some. If not, let's get some. So we'll come back to the salve. So another thing that we need to put in our first aid kit is a colloidal silver gel. The colloidal silver first aid gel is a natural topical homeopathic solution for natural healing. It promotes skin healing, fights minor skin infection, reduces topical pain, and calms skin irritation. It provides relief from minor wounds, burns, bruises, sunburns, scrapes, blisters, bug bites, and acne. Naturally reduces pain, inflammation, swelling, redness, and heat to promote enhanced wound healing. So you want to use a gel, and they do come in the little squeezer bottles. So if you have a wound, if it's something that you need to do it that way, or you can just apply it with your glove locally on the wound. So this is stuff that we're trying to use for emergencies, so that we'll be able to better care for our families without the aid of the hospital. Does anybody use colloidal silver? Okay, let's give me some testimonies, please.
You make your own?
No, you can make your own. I haven't made my own, but people who make it, I can get it from them.
I'll mix it. Rhonda.
Yes, Tam.
My friend Kim McDonald's when it taught me about it, her mom shared it with me. Right?
Yeah.
And it works wonderfully. My thing is just to keep using it.
Yes.
I started having, I stopped, I make it around, I make my own. And then as I make it, I drink it all, and I thought, I'll mix it when I get home, but I need 4 hours to do it in, because I'll fall asleep, and you don't want to leave it cooking all the time, right? Well, not cooking, but
Right, to make it.
all the time, however it works.
Miss Jackie back there,
Mm-hmm.
they did some that she made. I had some kind of something going on, and instead of doing the breathing treatment that they would do at the hospital with the little machine. So she brought me hers, and I did a breathing treatment, and hey, I'm here today.
Amen, amen. And so just so you guys know that Sister Jackie is the master colloidal silver provider in this area, okay? She's the manufacturer in this area, so you can get your colloidal silver from Sister Jackie. Any other questions regarding colloidal silver? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a 5-minute break, okay, so we can continue to prepare our demonstrations for you. Okay, so let's get started. There's a list being passed around to get your name and all your information so that you can get your book. So we're gonna have every remedy. I've added more remedies in addition to what we have, which is why you're not getting it now, so that you guys can have a full remedy book for the winter. But you should be able to get it in about a week, okay?
That'd be great.
Yeah, so we're gonna go over. Okay, so we're gonna go over herbal suppliers. So where do you guys get your herbs from? So the companies that I use are Mountain Rose Herbs, Star West Botanicals, Herbally Grounded. I use another one as well called Essential Organics. It's not up there, but I'll put it in your booklet. Now, you need to make sure that your supplier is a good supplier, so you need to do some research on your supplier. You want to look for wild-crafted herbs, and of course you want organic if possible. All herbal companies are not the same. You can order herbs and get the herbs, and when you open them up, they have no smell. They're very brittle and crumbly, and they've been sitting for a long time. So you want to you wanna, the best thing, my mind works is get a herbal company that is very popular. So that if they're meeting the demand, they don't usually have a lot of leftovers laying around. And so, you know, it's a good rule, if you've had herbs for too much, you need to get rid of them, you don't wanna keep them. You can still, if you keep them properly, like, I mylar bag my herbs, so that there's no oxygen in them, so that I can keep them for a longer time. You can also preserve your herbs that way. Or you can get a container that seals, so that there's no air in the container, which will preserve the herbs.
Like a mason jar?
Well, you can suck the air out of that. I've never tried that, but a mason jar is glass, and so you don't want any light to be on your herbs, so you want to keep them dark, which is why I mylar them. So you can do that, and sometimes I'll buy them new, and I will, I won't even take them out of the package. I'll just put them in a mylar and still preserve them that way. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I do, because if it's not time for me to open it, I don't want to open it. So make sure you research your herbal supplier so that you can get a very good herb, because you can make a remedy and it doesn't work, and you believe that the remedy just doesn't work, when it's really just the herbs that you've gotten are too old, or they're not what the person says they are. Yeah, I had my husband pick me up some Augustifolia echinacea, which is a higher echinacea than the purpurea. I don't know how to pronounce that word. And it was crumbly, but I didn't go, so I didn't get to look at it when it was being purchased. So he didn't know. So it was unusable. So because it was old. So and this was a recommended place to me, but it wasn't good. So just remember that herbs are great, and the best herbs that you can get in your yard. Now, how many people have elderberry growing in their yards? Is it just 2 people? Elderberry grows all around here.
I think I do.
You think you do?
I think I do. It looks familiar.
Okay, so you guys have to learn how to identify it. Some people mistake it for poke root, but I mean a poke herb, but it's not. This year, did you guys see all the yarrow growing everywhere?
Yes.
It was tremendous, and so it was a great way to catch your herbs and dry them out and have your own source of herbs that you know were wild crafted because you did it. Okay, so we're gonna get started. We're gonna do our wound salve now. Sorry.
Marcia, prepara.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay, great. Okay, so now we have our mixture completed. And I needed 2 of these for y'all. I'll just do 1. So what we're gonna do, as it's cooled down slightly, we're gonna add some peppermint oil. It's just, you need a half a teaspoon. This one's really in it.
Tell me again what we're making.
This is let me get back to it. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. This is the wound salve. Was it not coming up?
Here it comes.
Okay, so this is the wound salve. We've melted our manuka honey and our beeswax. We went over the principles or the components or the benefits of honey, the manuka honey especially. We heated the honey and the beeswax, and now that they've combined, we let them cool slightly, and now we're adding our essential oil. So we've added peppermint, and we want to add lavender. So you need about a half a teaspoon of each essential oil. And this is excellent for your first aid kit for your wounds, cuts, scrapes, and abrasions. Then you let the salve sit out until it solidifies and gets hard, and then you cap it.
I buy these stainless steel tins from, Amazon. But I wouldn't use aluminum, so if you're gonna get them, use stainless steel. But I like using the plastic better, the hard plastic better, but for health benefits, I go ahead and use the stainless steel. Anybody have any questions? Is anybody gonna go out and get their Manuka honey? That's right, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, or Ross, all three carry it, okay? And you get the same benefits, the same ones in the stores.
You said Marshall too?
Yeah, Marshall and TJ Maxx are the same company. So you can utilize them. So we do have a little extra.
Every week when these stores are.
We're gonna put this up, we have a little extra. Now we're gonna go ahead and make our next remedy, which is, which is nature's penicillin. So, instead of taking an antibiotic from the doctor, we're gonna create our own. Yeah. Peppermint oil. No, the gloves. Oh. This needs to be. Yeah. Can I have a plate, please? So you guys are coughing because you're taking all these remedies. Bring it up. Thank you. No, that's it.
Sister Bridges, I have a quick question
Yes.
for the audience. If I drank my potion and I did not have a response or I did not cough, for them, what does that mean? That I'm healthy?
I can't tell if you're healthy or not. I can't see inside, but you don't have any mucus right now.
Praise the Lord.
Okay, so 1 grapefruit, 1 orange, 2 lemons, 3 cloves of garlic, 1/2 of a large onion, and 3 drops of peppermint oil. So we're gonna blend it all together. I'm using my Vitamix. We're working this out. Okay. Then I'll put our garlic in here and I'll add the grapefruit as we go. Now this is supposed to be with the skins on. This is the recipe. Seeds and all. I'm praising God for the ninja, you know. See, on the Vitamix, I can put my little sticker thing in there and push it down. Okay, we're just gonna add a little water to try to get it to move. It's the ninja. Just gotta get down to the bottom. Yeah, I put time to fall out. Okay, start your move now. Okay, now this is supposed to be a thick concoction. It's not supposed to be liquid, but it's supposed to be a paste because you're gonna take it by the teaspoons. Put a little peppermint oil in there. And now we'll do our last blend. All right. Are these prepared? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna taste that. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what the benefits of orange peels are, or grapefruit and lemon as well. They lower high blood pressure and cholesterol, anti-allergenic, anti-inflammatory, improves oral health, boosts immune system, anti-cancer activity, protects respiratory system, and improves the digestive system. So you're not only getting your antibiotic, but you're getting other benefits with it as well. All right, so I'm gonna help pass it around. Okay, so I want everybody to tell me, what are you guys gonna have in your first aid kit? What goes in your first aid kit?
Cayenne, ginger, essential oils, peppermint, oregano oil, oil silver,
That's right.
and lavender.
Okay, so are you guys gonna actually try it? Okay, great, okay. So now, let's talk about foraging. Are you guys interested in finding things that grow around your yard to try to find it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So everybody can look for the pine trees when they get home, okay? Because the pine trees are very, very, very medicinal. So, and you can add to them. If you put a half a cup of oregano oil in the tea, you know, well, don't put that much. Maybe a teaspoon. Just put that. But if you put, or you can put a half a cup of the fresh herbs in the tea. You can also add some thyme as well to the tea, and then you would have a very great concoction to help you get rid of your cold and flu. Okay, I'm sorry, instructed for that. Let's see how our tea is going. Oh, somebody has a question. I'm sorry.
Can you quickly just repeat how to make an herbal tea correctly? Because you said don't boil it, so can you just tell us?
Well, you just bring it to a boil,
Mm-hmm.
and then you simmer it. It depends on what you're cooking, what you're making. Some leaves are gentle, some are not. If you're doing a root, you need to boil that thing. If you're doing some leaves, you don't need to be as aggressive. So when I make it, like I make a tea with 3 parts, and one of them has a root, and the other 2 are leaves. So I boil the root first for 20 minutes, then I add the leaves, and then I simmer it for another 20 minutes.
Just to make sure that I follow you. So ginger, you will boil it. Ginger
Oh,
or
yeah,
turmeric, you will boil it, but then just the oregano leaves, you will just put them after it's boiled.
Yeah, you're using oregano leaves, that's
Mhm.
correct, yes. Yeah, it's just based on what you're using will determine what process you use to boil it. Anybody else? All right, so our tea is kind of hot, so I want you guys to try it. Now, I didn't put anything additional in it. Would anybody like me to put some oregano oil in theirs? Okay, so I have 2, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we have 9 that want oregano oil.
I wanted to add some comments really quick. Can I get everybody's attention? Okay, I wanted to add some comments really quick about the Nature's Flu Shot. So in the past, I've had to make it for persons when they didn't have all the ingredients. So what do? So let's say you don't always work with what you have and what you have at your reach. Recently, I ran across, I was sharing this recipe with a family that was going through strep throat and a few other things. And the daughter is allergic to pineapple. So what would you do? So you can always pick a different juice. You want to make sure it's fruit. You can even fill it in with the real fruit. You know, put an orange in there, put apples in there. But you want to pick stuff that will go with lemons and garlic. You don't want to put a banana in there, because that would be kind of interesting. So you can always do, say you have grape juice, or say you have apple juice, or you have orange juice. You can blend the orange juice with some apples. Yeah, I guess that one's pretty strong. I could see some of your guys' faces. I wanted to add one extra note. So Nature's Flu Shot is really good for a virus. Can you guys think of another virus we wouldn't think of to take this for, but a virus that happens and sometimes takes 24 hours, we usually just endure it. Can you guys think of a virus that's like that?
Stomach flu?
Stomach flu. So I had the privilege of trying this out when I was a nanny with my 6-year-old that I was nannying, watching. She got a stomach flu. I didn't know immediately what was going on. I just knew she felt nauseous. I'm gonna just tell you about this one. Okay. I'm gonna tell you guys something about this that you'll know why. Okay. So she started to feel nauseous, and I thought it was something she ate. So the first thing I did was gave her charcoal. But charcoal doesn't work for a stomach bug. It may take if you ate something bad and you have charcoal, the nausea will go away soon. You'll start to feel better because it's absorbing the bad stuff. But with a stomach bug, it's very different because it's a virus. So what I did, as soon as I realized that weekend, we had found out that a family at church had a little one that had gotten a stomach bug. So once I found that out, I knew within the next 2 hours, she has a stomach flu. And so I knew, even though I knew this could help her, I know that theoretically, I thought, well, she's gonna throw up. You know, because that's the problem, right? You take in anything, you even drink water and you start throwing up. Well, I learned that peppermint oil is very good for nausea. So if you put 1 drop on your tongue, the nausea will actually go away. But with a stomach bug, it'll go away maybe for an hour or 30 minutes, depending on how bad it is, and then it'll come back. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna have to really think about this. So I gave her a drop of peppermint oil. I talked her through it. You know, I had gotten her to, I told her, this is gonna taste like a lot of toothpaste. I told her it's gonna be really strong, but you're gonna start to feel better soon. You're not gonna feel like throwing up. I was was like, are you okay with trying that? And she was like, okay, because she was really nauseous. So I put a drop. Sure enough, within like a couple minutes or less, it was gone, the nausea. So I had the Nature's Flu shot ready. The one I made her, I didn't use the peel. I just poured the juice in of 5 to 6 lemons. And so what I did, I talked her through that one too. With children, you have to do that. And she was curious enough to try it. She's like, okay, and she wasn't nauseous anymore. So I gave her some. And thankfully, that whole hour, she didn't throw up. I gave her a little bit more peppermint oil so that this could actually work in her system. Sometime later, she did start throwing up. But let me just tell you, as I would, every so often, I'd come back and try it again, give her some more peppermint oil, a drop, just a drop or less, diluted maybe if it's a child, so that's small. And I gave her some more Nature's Flu shot. And so, her stomach bug didn't last 24 hours. It ended up only lasting 8. So just wanted to share that with you guys so you guys can use that knowledge. Tuck it away and you can use it. Thank you guys for being a captive audience.
Okay, are there any questions? Yeah.
Amen.
Okay, don't drink it if you think you're gonna have a cough. But coughing is good for you. Yeah, it's because it's very strong. It's only 1 drop too. It's only 1 drop. But it's a heated drop, so that makes it better. Okay, so since we're done early though, we're gonna go over our list right here. Okay, so this is your first aid kit list. If you want to take a picture of it, you can. These are the things that you need to have in your first aid kit. So we've learned the benefits of them and the principles of what they need to be used for. You know where to get your supplies from. You know how to make a pain salve. You know how to make the Nature's Flu shot, elderberry syrup. You know how to make pine tea, comfrey salve, menthol salve. Tammy made that. Okay, and then you know your immune boosters. So in about a week, we're going to have the booklet for everybody. Did everybody sign the paper? Okay. So putting some extra recipes in it so that you guys can have more recipes to choose from to practice at home on. And I'm encouraging you to look in your yard to see what you have. There's plantain all over the place. There's dandelion. Everything is there. I have milk thistle growing in my yard randomly. And this year, all the yarrow that grew everywhere was a blessing. Did you guys see all the white flowers or herbs that came up? Okay, so that was yarrow. So if you had cut it and dried it, you'd have a great supply of yarrow. Yarrow is very good. So I want you to do some homework. I want you to get a book on herbs. And then I want you to study the herbs, and then I want you to go look for the herbs to see what you have. So when we want to make a plantain poultice or we need some plantain, we just go out in the yard and get it. We don't have to go to the store and get it, and you can do the same thing. So you can only, if you have to have the knowledge so that you'll know what to do. Doing all this stuff is not hard, you just have to practice at it. And so you're gonna try, you can go online and there are many, many different types of elderberry syrups that you can make. Some people like to put the orange peels in them. Different benefits. You don't have to do what I did. You can do your own way. But I really appreciate you guys allowing me to give the class this year. And hopefully we can have some more with some other presenters.
Thank you.
you.